this Encore. Oh. Okay, so potentially Encore can join.
We'll give him a shout out.
Encore join. Either way, we're just starting anyways.
All right.
Oh, we start off with a downer.
I know.
Let's talk about suicide.
Well, that's where some of the best stories come from, and like the best poetry.
All right, welcome to the English Creative Writing Club. I'm Joshua.
I'm Colin.
We're gonna be talking about suicide. Apparently,
Are we?
well, I don't know. There's that. Oh,
Oh, hello.
hey, English and Creative Writing Club.
Yeah.
Are
Cool.
you Jenna?
Introduce
No,
yourself.
I'm Sabina.
I'm sorry.
Sabina.
Sabita. All right.
Sabina.
Oh,
No O.
oh, okay. Gotcha.
Like Sabrina, but without the R.
Roger.
Cool.
So actually, we just started our podcast right before we walked in. So,
Oops.
want to say a little bit more about yourself to all our viewer?
Because we get ourselves every week, so they know. Well, potentially they would know who we are. Like what's your favorite book or favorite author?
J.K. Rowling, obviously.
Oh,
Harry Potter's the best.
The Resurgence.
that's
is
why
real.
we're here.
I'm a Hufflepuff.
Same here.
Griffin.
Good.
He actually doesn't know. He's lying.
You're
He's never
lying.
actually taken the sorting test.
Have you been on Pottermore?
I'm sorry.
Pottermore?
Pottermore? I didn't even know what is that.
That's
Oh.
it.
It's J.K. Rowling helped someone create the site, which is like basically, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like online Harry Potter. Basics of it.
Is it like a role-playing game, or is
No,
it like a
it's
fan fiction?
Kinda. It's like
So-
you go through the books and each chapter is illustrated and you can click on stuff. It's not really like a video game because you really don't have any choices. You just go along with what Harry's doing.
And all this like happening after the series,
No, it's
or is
throughout the
it?
series. But then you have like your walk days, and you have your. I don't know what that place, but I don't remember that one.
So you pretend like you're a student, like coming in for,
Yeah,
and you're basically in Harry Potter's class.
basically.
It's called Pottermore.
Pottermore.
Pottermore. Or I shot too many guns. My hearing's gone.
It's okay.
Pottermore. Okay. I have to stay on my computer so I don't forget. So there it is. Okay.
We were off to a very depressing start.
Yeah,
Actually.
It's depressing.
Well, we have poems by like. You were talking about how some authors, like famous authors, were kind of like not mentally always together.
Like Edgar Allan Poe, people with grass.
I don't know
Those people.
how interesting that is to talk about. I just what do you like? What do you,
Like, what do you read?
I don't know, because I do. Because
Oh.
books are good.
books are
Good.
fun.
Yeah.
As much as I agree.
My stats teacher told me never to do this.
Stats teach.
Yes, but extrapolation is bad.
Oh, basically data. And like something. Basically, if you assume that I'm going to continue off the graph. When you're talking about like delineation, I mean, like when you look at a graph, it can either be like, you can either have like a linear relationship between, X and Y, or you can have a non-linear relation between the two. And basically, delineating something, you're basically turning it from a simple linear relationship to one that's probably curved or has multiple curves or anything that's non-linear. So you're basically making it more complicated, which is not what we're saying, unless you have a different definition. I'm trying to speak from a stats perspective, but
Yeah.
Okay, so what I was thinking would be fun would be, well, I guess, I don't know if you can use paper.
oh, you can use that.
Nice.
Yes.
I'm glad. Did you see that, viewers?
Obviously they did.
All right, sorry.
Do you want to like actually describe it for people
Yeah, well, do that.
listening online?
Yes. While you do your thing.
Well, okay. So I was thinking we could do like a little fun writing thing where we would try to, so because it's an audio, whatever, and people aren't here, but I was thinking like we could write down a concept, right? And I guess we would reveal it at the end of our like little exercise, but we would try to describe the concept without saying it. Like try to make it so that people can guess.
Okay, so it's like that game. I can't remember. Yeah, kind of.
Except with words.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's say we're describing plane, like you'd say like flying through the air, made of metal, things like that.
I guess. I was thinking of more of like Sailor Moon or something.
Oh.
Well, alien princess, saving world. You know.
I don't know. Like we had the shotgun plots last week.
Oh, that was very fun.
We could just do that again. I don't know.
We should probably do something new every week though.
But okay, but I don't know. Like the way that the how would this?
I'd imagine it'd be kind of hard for viewers to understand what's going on. If you start doing that.
What if we just visually just like describe something that we have physically right now?
And we have to let the viewers guess?
Yeah, and we try to make it abstract as possible. Does that sound like fun?
Sure.
I don't know.
I'll go along with whatever.
Okay, because I'm kind of bad at describing settings. Or we could just make up a setting.
Okay, let's do that. Like you'll say like you'll say a couple words, then I'll say a couple words, and you say a couple words, and we just keep on adding to the setting.
Like a circle story.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Which is essentially what we're doing last week. Except now we're describing setting rather than plot.
Okay, cool. All right.
Cool. All right. So there's rushing water, and you can smell the coral, like the excess from the sulfur coming up. So it smells really bad on the beach. And
so there's running water on a beach with sulfur?
Yeah, it smells horrible.
All right.
You wanna
so there's so right next to this beach is a gigantic volcano that is made of coral. How much the sulfur is permeating.
Okay.
Cool.
There's a group of kids with their shirts over their noses trying to breathe.
Oh. There's a lifeguard with the intercom, and he's yelling at the old lady to get her out of the pool because she's leaving some type of residue behind her.
She had earlier jumped into the volcano, survived, and now she's like trying to wash off the lava from her skin.
Her gray old hairs are now burnt black.
The sand is red and gritty, and it's not like soft sand, but it's like chunks of rock, like gravelly rock, that you see like planted normally on like really rich people's houses, underneath plants.
So, and these rocks are so sharp that they have to keep like 2 medics to every person that's there because everyone's getting cut up and bleeding everywhere, which is why the stones are red.
This is like post-apocalyptic beach time.
Well, you can tell like our writing tastes.
Yep.
Alright.
Maybe we should have like moved in a different direction. We started off with the beach, but then I said sulfur.
I know.
I
changed everything.
I really wanted it to go towards like sea sponges because I like sea sponges, and then like just aquatics.
Okay.
But then I thought of sulfur for some reason. All right.
All right. So
That's-
wait, blood everywhere.
Oh, we can start with a new setting if you want, but
No, let's keep going.
okay.
The sun is setting.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
And you can see a couple, undetermined gender, looking at each other, saying that they will get out of this hellhole.
And right next to them is a boat that is shaped like a giant heart that is beating.
Like physical heart, like scientific heart.
And then a giant wave comes crashing down and destroys the heart.
It destroys and the shipwreck. Like you can see like the veins and the arteries like drift and float up and down in the ocean, and you realize, and then this is actually just a normal coincidence in this crazy life.
Yeah.
But it turns out like those two people saved up a lot of money in order to try to escape with that heart boat, which is also a very weird concept. A heart boat that and apparently the sea is red and blue.
Yes, and the blood from the shore is the blood that feeds this heart.
Now we're like
So
inside
now-
of a
so
body.
You can't tell.
Yes,
This is we like surrealism a little bit.
that's good. Surrealism's fun.
I was going for like Mars because it said red sand, but then we
Okay.
went with like blood and sharp nails. So
Yeah.
this is kind of cool though.
It's an interesting.
I like
image.
this, like,
I'm not sure if I
this is
would
a
want
really
to
bad
visit this
dream.
beach.
The couple jumps onto one of the arteries and starts drifting away.
And then they pedal really hard on the drifting waves with this black clouds above them with the yellow backdrop and there are like 3 suns and one of them setting.
And then the lifeguard and all the medics and all the people on the shore and the old grandma who is still covered in lava realize that they're leaving and they're not supposed to leave the cult, so they go on after her, following heart arteries of their own.
Oh crap.
Oh dang! The race is on. The sea current starts pushing against the couple, and they're going towards the mob.
Oh crap.
Wait, the sea couple is going back?
Yeah, because
Okay.
the sea current
Oh,
is going the other way.
oh, gotcha. Oh, the tide.
Yes, the tide. That's the word I was looking for.
So like the epithelial tissue that they're sitting on, right? It's
Yeah.
really gooey and it just feels kind of rough, and like they start eating it because saying that they would rather eat start eating the heart and becoming one with the ocean than be captured by the cult.
So it's a choice between becoming one with the cult and one with that object that the cult worships. And they want to become gods so they are not killed by the mob.
But little do they know there was a curse on the heart.
And a crow comes flying down and transforms into a man prophesying something. And
The
whisks them
mountain-
away.
No one can understand the prophecy. And the cults, angry that they just missed the great revelation, did nothing.
Did nothing. So yeah, they're just like swimming in this ocean with all these arteries floating around them. Oh, and then there's the coral at the bottom of the ocean.
then like then the sea sponges come, and they're like really asymmetric, and like made out of animal cells because that's awesome. And then there's a sperm whale, and it just swims by, like sucking up plankton in this blue sea.
It is now fully nighttime, and the 3 moons have come up to battle for supremacy above the red-blue sky. And
Do we want to keep going with this? I kind of want to change it to like
yeah, I
a
feel like
suburban setting.
I know.
Whatever.
Maybe it's like one more iteration each.
Sure, yeah.
Okay,
So-
where did we leave off?
We left through the 3 battling moons
3 battling moons. Okay.
on the dark sky, apparently, right?
Yeah, it's nighttime now.
Yeah. Or it doesn't have to be dark.
One of the moons glows an odd cerulean, and the other one pulses crimson.
Oh.
Oh.
And then the sand turns over with as the cerulean moon hits the apex of its rotation, and everything flips, and it looks like Earth.
And then the cult put on normal clothes and went about their day.
The end.
That wasn't that bad. I thought it was kind of cool. Oh, Encore is actually on the, but I don't know how to make him join. But Encore can listen to us.
Yeah. Shout out to our treasurer, Rua.
He can't make it actually today.
Okay,
so
cool.
like he's joining us online, but apparently he only can view it. Oh,
Shout out if you can hear us, Encore.
he can't because he's not actually. This is I don't know how to, but it's streaming live. I don't know. Wait,
Okay.
can you add people? Sorry.
We're still new to this.
Okay, whatever. I mean, we can work it out later. I don't know.
We'll ask Encore how it went
Yeah.
afterwards.
Do you want to do another round, or do you want to talk more about books?
Oh. Yeah, let's do one more round, but let's try not to like draw on quite as long. Like that took 10 minutes.
Cool. Do you want to start? Because I changed.
So just setting again?
Yeah.
All right. Okay. It's nighttime in a bustling city. The cars are still going by real quickly, and off in the distance you could hear sirens wailing.
As well as the traffic congestion and it smells of smoke. People passing by wear masks because of the pollution, and there are big TVs plastered along the cityscape across the buildings. There's also mannequins lining across the street to make passersby want to wear the clothing.
Yes, and they're all and set in between every 10 mannequins or so is a medical technician with needles and chemicals, and they're constantly checking these biological mannequins to make sure that the pollution isn't affecting them.
The mannequins can move and dance in order to grab other people's attention.
Dang it! I was going for like a normal city.
We can start over.
We can go back.
You started adding like mannequins everywhere, so
I was not
That's
normal.
normal.
I just was a fashion street. I was just going for a fashion street. But
Was
yeah,
everybody wearing
okay, wait,
masks?
I can say this. So
Okay.
So at it's just a normal day for the medical person. He's hired for minimum wage. It's become normal that that cloning and genetics had gone to the point where they could create mannequins who have simulated muscles that move, and in order to show off and to become real objects.
after all, you want to see how a dress really looks when it's moving and when it's glittering in the smog-tinged air. and people want to become as beautiful as mannequins.
I'm sorry for being really creepy, but that's the only way I think I could save it.
Right. All pedestrians come in groups of 2 or 3. No one's willing to actually shop around, though, because the mannequins, they're just so beautiful that they don't think that they could ever be the same.
And you see our main character wearing glasses, typical nerd, at a computer, scrolling down, seeing images flash by over and over and over again. The same 5 things that just happen to trigger the things that make him happy.
I was going to say 4.
One of them is boring.
Oh, let's see. These 5 things absolutely contradict everything that is going on in the street. Whereas everyone is trying to emulate the beauty of the street, he focuses on the smog and trying to clean it. Whereas everyone else focuses on superficiality.
Remember, there's crime because there's police sirens. That was the first thing she said.
Or this medical
crime. Right?
Okay, I can bring it back to that.
We can go back to crime. He's scrolling through these 5 things when he hears a woman screaming down the street.
It turns out this woman who is screaming has is screaming not because she got her purse taken, but because a man just got stabbed 9 times in the back in front of her, but no one except her seems to notice.
The mannequins are very crafty after all.
I feel like that's a good end.
Okay, yeah, that's good. I like that. That was everything that we think of goes into apocalyptic, which is okay.
Hey,
I don't know, for me.
I'm sorry if we shocked you with the fact that we always go like in that direction.
It's all good.
Okay.
No worries.
No, for me, like I feel like I try to be like a natural storyteller.
Okay.
And I feel like my brain tries to jump to like the most interesting thing whenever we discuss something like this.
Yeah.
And usually the disturbing and the creepy things are more interesting than the beautiful and the lovely. Which is a terrible thing to say, but it's a lot easier at least for me personally, to write about the dark things in life. Because I just think that says a lot more about reality and how you can cope with it, I guess. If you write everything about beauty, sunshine, and rainbows, I mean, it's beautiful, but you can't learn a lot from it, I feel.
It's easier to write a tragedy than a comedy.
Oh, yes.
Well, I like comedy.
Comedies are fun.
It's not saying they're bad. I'm just saying it's easier, at least for me personally, to write a tragedy.
Yeah.
I'm in the same boat.
How about you, Josh? Your poetry definitely seems that way.
Yeah, my stuff goes towards like the creepy and the abnormal. Like one of my stories has just a chandelier of human tongues, and then like this guy chasing a girl because of course why not? In order to take her tongue, and it's something. And then I have like other ones where it's like actually more subtle and it's set in like more realistic, like the gray relationship. That one's more of just like, I mean, it is more of like a tragedy, but it's not like surrealist. It's more of just like conveying an emotion that I felt in my life. Like I know that this relationship, even though I like it, I know it's not going to work out. And I know that she probably knows that too. And like having that emotion and trying to convey that through writing. I'm not sure. That's not chippy, but I guess you need conflict.
You do. You definitely need conflict.
So actually, what do you find yourself writing about if you have the time and the energy?
Everything.
Oh.
I like trying everything at this point, and my stuff does tend to be a little bit weird. I just finished writing a short story about an injured puddle spirit and a dying dragon.
Oh, tell us a little bit about it.
That's basically it.
That's a whole lot.
Well, basically the puddle spirit wants to save the dragon, but doesn't know how. So she goes on this little quest with herself to figure out how to save it. And it's pretty neat.
Does it have like
It's definitely weird.
Does it have like general plot structure, like rising action or climax and solution, or is it more of just a?
I don't think so. It's more, I don't know. It's weird. I can't really explain it. It's.
We actually have a Figment group where we can like share our books, and if you wanted to,
It's.
share your things, it's the world and us. I don't know.
Okay.
Like if it's not too personal, I don't know. If you just want to like share it on the podcast, feel free to read it out loud. We've had our own poems read before and comment.
I'd rather not read it out loud. I'm just trying to remember the structure of the thing right now.
Yeah, I mean writing is personal.
Oh, you were there though for the poetry reading, right?
Yeah, I was. And
So-
actually, Encore was in my intro to fiction class.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So, yay. It's like,
Awesome.
I know him. From where? Took me a while.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But the reason why I brought it up was because like before I actually did that, I was in here reading.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, reading that to prepare. Yeah, for that. So you can so you can
Yeah.
use this.
Which one was your story? Because I recognize you, I just can't remember.
The Whispers of the Leaves. The one where I was talking about the Batman.
Batman.
Oh,
Sorry.
not Batman.
I know, but I
Batman.
heard Batman, so I was like, yes.
It's
Yeah, we
like-
should talk about the Persona reading last. I mean, like, if you haven't gotten your copy of Persona, I guess we're gonna advertise with them because they're gonna advertise for us.
Another shout out to Persona, U of A's literary and art magazine.
We're totally going to talk about the 2015 printing, like, and what we feel about it, I guess, if it's okay with you.
Totally.
Cool. So, that one guy who said he was gay, and he decided not to come today.
I know.
He was like really excited to talk about like
Harry Potter.
that. Yes, that's important. Also, he was talking about, and it actually has been on my mind, and I can't believe I forgot to bring this up. The first reading was "Don't Sit Down," I believe, and it was talking about this one guy who is gay.
Yeah.
It's like non-fiction, and he was talking about how he associates himself with. Hey, we actually have the book here.
Yay.
You gotta grab this.
We can tell his name. It's called "Do Not Walk" by Alex Entrikin. You can read it for yourself if you buy Persona, I guess.
It's really good.
Yeah, I thought it was really good. Apparently, the gay guy was like, "That's not okay with me," and I was like, "Why?" He's like, "Because I don't feel like I'm represented there
Oh,
as a gay person."
okay.
Yeah.
Is the gay guy's name Kincaid?
I don't know.
Is he really big into music?
Yeah, he's my
Yeah.
friend.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's a bit more of a feminine gay. I feel like he wouldn't mind me saying that. I hope he doesn't.
So-
But yeah. And the two, Kincaid and the author, have had some difficulties between each other. I'm not going to go
so
into the
it's-
drama of.
I was
their
gonna
lives,
go
but-
I was gonna go all like analytical and be like,
Oh, sorry.
specifically for like what reason and why is it okay? Like, is it okay to represent a specific group? But now I feel awkward about talking about it because
Oh,
I feel like
sorry.
there's no actual merit behind other than just spite, which is a great way to inspire
Well,
someone to write.
I feel like he does have a bit of a reason for what he said,
So
other than just spite.
Alex or your friend?
My friend Kincaid.
Okay.
Because yeah, I mean, Alex was writing about himself, which makes sense. It's nonfiction. That's what he should do. But he wasn't focusing on like gays as a community, and I think that's what the other guy Kincaid was hoping for.
Yeah, he said it wasn't fully representative of the gay community.
Yeah, but it's
Yes.
nonfiction. It doesn't have to be representative of the entire thing. It's just his experience.
Yeah, to me it sounded like he was just like kind of walking through his own life and letting us see what it's like in his head.
Yeah.
There's no value judgment on it. It's just we're just like seeing through someone else's perspective.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, personally, I wouldn't have anything wrong with that, but I'm also not gay.
That's true.
So I know it's like for me, like I have a hard time writing about either other ethnic groups or the LGBTQ community or anyone who's like basically not a white 20-year-old male.
You mean the majority of YA lit right now?
Yep.
Well, like, there's actually been an interesting talk about, like, how fan fiction has been kind of filling the void that hasn't been met by normal, like, publications. Like, there's a lot of gay fan fiction because there isn't a lot in normal fiction, and it's filling that cultural void, which is it's an interesting theory, and it supplements the data, but I'm not sure if it's true or not. What do you guys think?
I don't read a lot of fan fiction, so I can't comment.
I don't read fan fiction, but I know a lot of people who do. And yeah, there is tons of gay fanfic, but I also feel like that's also because of fangirling.
Oh.
Like, the idea and the feeling behind fangirling is like just squeal whenever there's like gay undertone because yeah, it happens.
True. Well, I guess it's like that weirdness where it comes like with that obsession with straight men and lesbian women.
Yeah.
So it's like the same dichotomy, but it's in the opposite way.
But with fictional characters.
Yeah. Which I feel like if the gender roles were reversed, it would also be the same way.
I don't know. I've never met a guy who's like fangirled over two girls.
Yeah, they do it silently in their rooms with the lights turned off.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
I mean, like, well, I've never. Anyway, I thought it was a really good piece, like just from like my personal perspective before. I thought that, like, I was thinking about how certain gays, not that I am, but I feel like there's like that stereotype that gays have to act a certain way and conform to a specific stereotype, and that specific piece kind of showed that in a good way. And I thought like when I feel like I forgot what was his name again?
Kincaid?
Kincaid.
Or the guy who wrote it?
No.
Kincaid. Okay, yeah.
I felt like Kincaid was like, this piece of literature should not exist because it's bad. And it has damage and it doesn't do well for the community as a whole. But I feel like any type of representation of who a person has a right to be there. Maybe not a right to be there, but it's okay by me.
I don't think he was against it existing. I think he just really wished that the author would have expanded a bit more and would have included other people's experiences with it.
But it was an autobiography about himself.
That's true. So, I don't know.
Well, if you're listening to this, Kincaid, come to the next meeting so you can talk about it, so we can actually get your perspective rather than our interpretations of your perspective.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great piece, though.
It was a really good piece.
And
one of my friends is actually an advanced fiction writing with the author, and apparently he wrote some like dystopian short story, and it's in the same type of style as the first piece.
Okay.
And I find that really interesting because it's very short and it doesn't really have nouns, or well, it doesn't say like you, I.
I don't feel like I could actually. I don't think I could read a novel like that because it would just take away it would lose its kind of
effectiveness.
Well, yeah, repetition is good to a point because I was basically saying like the same sentence structure over and over again, which for a short piece like that I think is effective because it really drove the message home. But if you have more than like 6 or 7 pages of that, that's when it gets like degrading really fast. So
wait, is campy a good word for? Like it would lose its campiness.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
You mean it's like newness? It's
It's
novelty?
kind of it's novelty. It would lose its novelty over the course of entire book, because I feel like the entire point of that short story is that it's a new form of writing, and then it's short now to the point. But like once it gets to a certain point, it has to give me something new in the way that it's giving. Like it would have to play with alliteration or something in order to maintain my attention over the course of like an entire 200 pages. Like I can understand for like 3 pages, like I would like to read it again, like see what he was going about, but he would have to actually like expand on the themes. Like I thought the way that he used it in order to expand why he feels anxious about being gay and being masculine, like his writing style like helped with that theme, but he would also have to have a new theme with a new type of writing style that actually has with it, not just like, oh, let's write J.K. Rowling in this type of way of writing. I'm like, but no, like there's no point in that, right?
Oh,
The writing style has to supplant the themes.
Oh,
right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, it also has to like mirror like the perspective of whatever characters you're writing about, and like what's that story by Edgar Allan Poe?
Which one?
The one with the Mad Eye or Evil Eye?
What's it called?
A Telltale Heart.
There we go.
So yeah, I mean, if you wrote that in like flowery, happy kind of language, then it would have fallen apart. There would be no story. But because his diction, syntax, and the way he wrote it fit in with the character's mindset, is a beautiful piece. So,
can I make that like a super tangent and say that like Edgar Allan Poe wrote a mystery detective story about a monkey?
You're kidding.
Great. It's so good.
Okay, cool.
Did we want to talk about Colin's poem again?
Well, actually, I want to ask.
I remember this.
Okay, do you remember the way that I spoke? Yeah, I spoke about it, or the way we spoke out loud. That's actually what I want to talk about.
I'm sorry, you were in the middle, so
I know.
My attention fades in and out.
I know.
I said America during it. Does that help?
What?
Yes. I yelled America during while he was walking up.
No, my first reaction was "fuck yeah." That's what I wanted to say, but I didn't know if I could say it, so I just like stopped and just like gave you a thumbs up. But no, I'll just give a brief excerpt to see if you can remember it, because I do want to ask about delivery.
Okay.
But and like about like this poem, like I was kind of saying about Edgar Allan Poe, like written from the point of view of a madman. So I try to let that be reflected in my voice and the way I read this.
I feel like our setting exercise actually gave me a more like insight into the way that you write, and like it helps me with this poem, like because of the way that like you thought and generated ideas during our exercise. Like, I mean, I've learned a lot about you since I've been reading your stuff. But,
likewise.
Like, so, but you know.
But anyway, that's supposed to be the first part.
Yeah.
So the leaves, they whisper rotten things, casting shadows in empty minds as if they plot sullen scheming. Can't you hear them?
He remembers it now.
I remember now.
Okay.
Like the minute you started reading it, I'm like, yep, I remember you.
Okay, so.
Did you think it was a bit campy?
It was a little bit campy, but I feel like you were kind of trying to go in the middle of it, like not too crazy, so everybody else would be, but still crazy-ish. And I feel like you should pick a side. Don't be in the middle. Pick a side.
Gotcha.
That's my opinion. But
doesn't that kind of reflect what I said though?
Yeah, it does. Like I was definitely. Yeah, I think what you're basically saying was I was like kind of like hugging the fence between being rational and being irrational. Right. And people couldn't quite understand, how to take me, and they thought it was funny, because I was kind of like going in halfway.
That uncanny valley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why so I was like totally experimenting up there. Like when I read it, like up here, like it was completely normal the way I read any other poem. I went up there, it's like I realized like I was in the middle, like you said, like I'm gonna be remembered. It's like I got to experiment a little bit, and that happened.
That's all good. You just have to practice it.
Mm-hmm.
It's all good.
Yeah, I think part of the reason why I thought of that setting exercise is because I lack settings in all of my stories. Like environment building is not my best. Like,
so you feel like landscapes in the mind?
I love setting. Oh my gosh, I spent pages upon pages describing walls. Like, why?
Yeah.
Ask any of my friends. I cannot move on with a story until I give you like the color, the shape, everything. If you don't know where every single dust particle is, I just can't move forward.
I feel like there's a really old style of writing. Like, especially if you read like Jane Austen, I mean, they really focus on just description a lot.
I write it all out and then I cut it back. Like, so much until it's like one paragraph, and then I'm done. And then I don't touch it again.
See, like, when we were making the setting, I find that, like, you would always go towards action.
Yeah.
Towards making the setting. And
I know, I was focusing on plot, which is, I was going against what we were supposed to be doing. I couldn't help it, though.
It's you do really well on, well, read his stuff. It's on Figment. Figment is
we can show you after the podcast.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a way that you can share stories with each other, and you can like publish them, and then you can get them read by other people. Most of like it's not really private. Like it isn't private, but the thing is, most people will follow you randomly because there's no reason for them to read it.
Yeah.
So it's basically private. But you know, unless you want it to get it out there. What was I saying? Oh, talking about the way that you write. I mentioned it before. You do a very good way. You are very good at making plot, like setting up something in order to make you curious, in order to reach I guess some type of payoff. But usually the payoff
is weird.
It's not what you expect. You'd be like, oh my gosh, I'm like, and you read too much into it, and then you're like, really? That's what you're thinking, and you're like. I mean, it's a cool payoff, but it's also it's not what you expect.
No. Actually, I had someone compare me to like Stephen King, like that way before, because I guess Stephen King is like excellent at creating atmospheres.
Yeah.
But his payoffs aren't always the best, and so like when
my parents stopped me from reading Stephen King.
I really enjoy it. Sometimes he absolutely nails it, but he's like he writes as if he's like on assembly lines, writes like 8 hours every day, and when you're not strictly writing because of inspiration, you can definitely create a lot of shit work, which I feel like he's kind of treaded that line a little bit at times.
Yeah, but then you get into the whole thing. If you only write when you're inspired, then what the hell are you doing for 90% of your time?
Well, I know for me, it's like I don't want to become a full-time writer. I want to be a full-time researcher and like write on the side. So if I can get a few publications, make a little bit of money off of it, great. But it's mainly there as an outlet for me to stay sane. Anything else?
It's the same for me. I usually like write whenever I'm really frustrated or angry or feel very anxious, and then like, right. But okay, sorry.
So, it's all good.
And how about you? Do you want to be a full-time writer or?
Like kind of not. I'm hoping to actually get an MFA in creative writing.
Oh, cool.
But then afterwards, I want to teach.
So do both then. So you want to teach how to write?
No, I want to teach elementary schoolers.
Oh.
So like really little kids. But I also want to write off to the side. So therefore, summers will be writing time, and then the rest of the school year, I'll be writing on the side and teaching.
Gotcha.
We were teaching English classes. I actually really like it. Our first podcast is about English teachers. Like we actually talk about English teachers that we like.
Oh yeah.
And like how they've inspired us to become like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and bring around back. We actually have a podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So.
So as an elementary school teacher, would you be like a generalist then, or would you like want to focus on writing, kind of like what he's saying with like our old degree teachers?
Well, I'd be doing English as a second language. Oh. Sorry, can't talk today.
ESL.
Yeah, ESL classes. So yes, kind of, but I would also be doing math, science, and history as well.
Gotcha.
Definitely not art, though. You do not want me as an art teacher.
Unless it's writing, which is a form of art.
Yeah, but not like painting and drawing, no.
Gotcha.
Can't draw a stick figure?
I can draw a stick llama.
That's good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Thank you. Talent of my life.
I know. Sorry, quick little tangent. But I know in high school, like, I was part of art class, and our big project for the semester was like draw a mural, like in our cafeteria, and it was like really cool. Like, we painted like a bunch of like bricks, like over the wall, and then like basically there were a bunch of holes in these bricks, and behind which were a bunch of different settings. And the first thing I wanted to do is to create a stick person factory. That was my initial idea, but I couldn't create like enough concept art to make it work out.
Oh,
It's like we say, okay, this is where you build the arm, and this is where you build the head.
yes.
And it's like see like an assembly line of like these like little sticks.
Beautiful.
Throwing around.
So how do you go about generating setting within your writing? Is that a question you can answer? Or?
I usually start with plot, and plot gives me characters. And once I've got characters, it's kind of easy. Like a puddle spirit, where do puddles come from? And then I decided because it's a dragon, I wanted it to be a little bit more remote. So I came up with a forest. It's not a specific forest, it's just forest, trees, moss, all the description. So yeah.
Huh. Okay.
So what do you feel is the importance of describing like in micro detail like that? It's like for me, like whenever I'm kind of minimalist when it comes to setting.
Yeah.
Like I'll describe it just enough so that reader knows where you are.
But you
But at the
do
same
it
time-
well, and after like it adds to the plot very well.
Well, yeah, that's it. Well, yeah, the idea though is that I want the reader to kind of like fill in the gaps that I'm leaving, and that I feel helps like builds the tension that you're talking about before. Because if I'm not describing like every little corner, that leaves a lot of mystery.
Yeah.
And especially if I'm describing like a creepy setting, like I do a lot of the time.
That reminds me of like The Giver. Have you read The Giver?
I have
I love The Giver by Lois Lowry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like it's basically like a world where people are deprived of being different from each other, and that there's this one person who has dreams, his assignment is to take the dreams from everybody and like assign it to one person.
Wow. That's weird.
And
It's really
sounds really
weird.
cool.
It's so awesome.
Yeah, don't say anything. I'll spoil the plot. I want to read this now. If I get time.
Oh, I was gonna say the ending. Well, okay. So like the reason I bring it up is because that the leaving the blanks to be filled is something inside of the giver that that is part of the giver. That is also part of your work.
Okay.
You should probably read the book. It's not that hard to read.
It's really, really short. I read it in like elementary school.
Okay.
So
it's like a quick couple hour read.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, beautiful. I have time for that.
That's
But
great.
anyway, so what do you my guys have
The
pretty
sequel's dumb, and then
The best. Okay, Gathering Blue was really, really slow. The Messenger was awesome, and I still haven't read The Sun. So
wait, there's a one after the message. The messenger.
it's a quartet.
Really, the fourth one?
Yeah,
There's a
the
fourth
fourth
one?
one just came out like 2 years ago.
Seriously?
Yeah,
I should probably read that.
Yeah.
The messenger was okay.
I like The Messenger. The Messenger was my favorite.
Really?
Yeah.
That was okay. I mean,
just
like
really
it was.
liked it.
It's better than what I expected, so it's good.
Yeah. Well, it was all about like a boy who thought he knew what he wanted to be when he grew up, and then slowly realizing, nope, that's not what I'm supposed to be. And
That's my life.
yeah, exactly.
This shit. Yeah, we can talk about that later.
He's very angry. I have the opposite problem than him.
Oh,
We were talking about it before, but we should probably not talk about it while we're in the
Yeah, we should probably focus on writing still.
writing.
And
Yeah.
I still want to hear your answer.
What was the question?
Oh, what
Sorry.
do you feel is the strength of adding so many details to your story,
Oh,
as opposed to like kind of like my method of minimalism?
well, I write more fantasy than anything.
Mhm.
So I always.
It's like fantasy, like Dungeons and Dragons kind of fantasy, or
It's usually high fantasy, yeah.
okay,
Or
like
actually,
Thrones?
sometimes it's magical realism. Sometimes it's, I don't know. It really varies.
Okay,
But I always feel like if I don't describe it enough, people won't get that image. And if they don't get
So-
that image, what's the point of reading fantasy?
so you're trying to, so you have like an image in your head, and you want the readers to see that as closely as possible.
Yeah, I'm a very visual person.
Okay,
So it's like, you have to see
you
it this way. Exactly
and
like
you
this.
can't draw, so
No,
you
I
have to do it
can't.
with words.
Exactly.
Gotcha.
Like,
Like when I was smaller, I kind of created my own little world with like 5 Chinese elements: metal, fire, water, wood, and something else. Well,
Okay,
wood is
fair.
also interchangeable with wind, and that was actually my
What?
element, like the one that I chose out of all my friends. And we all kind of created our worlds based off these different epicenters and how they interacted with each other. Like, because fire consumes wood,
Yeah.
right? But wood consumes water, and sometimes the elements work with each other. I kind of created most of the world, but it was just a world for the sake of being a world inside of it and having like casts and characters inside of it. It didn't really have a plot or anything other than just being able to play around in this fun little, like, my race happened to be like half dragon and also a ninja.
Oh, that's badass.
Yes.
So
that is badass. To
That is yes.
So like that's
capital all letters, yes.
So it was like setting in order to create a plot that just kind of created the story on its own.
Oh,
Yeah.
Which is not what like my current writing does.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe I should start doing that because that would be fun to read.
No, actually, yeah, kind of actually going off of what you both told me now. It's like, I know I have like several methods of coming up with the story. Like, sometimes the idea will come first, like kind of like the plot, and then I create a setting and a characters around that. Other times I create like a cast of characters, and then I create a plot that kind of follows like the relationships that these characters have with each other, and then I basically choose the best setting for the plot. One time, like I did have a setting first, and I put a story to the setting. So it's really interesting though, like where like how you build stories, and like how like which pieces come first. I mean, so like whenever I have like a writing block, I just try to find different ways of putting the puzzle pieces together.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So I mean, do you guys do that too, or do you always kind of like follow the same formula for creating stories?
Well, recently it's just more of like I find an emotion, I want to describe its utmost epicenter of like my being, like that when I was talking about like that feeling of depression and suicide. I'm sorry.
Such wonderful topics.
That's what we were talking about when you walked in.
Oh.
Because he was talking about an old girlfriend. I was like, I can relate, and we were like, okay. And then it's like, so you feel that too. And then I was like, I need to describe it poetically, or else you won't understand it. I'm sorry. But do you want me to describe it again?
And that makes me uncomfortable. It's like first time meeting someone, talk about the time you're
about the
considering
time.
suicide. It's a great way to know someone.
Yeah.
I'm not sure if I can replicate it because I didn't actually write it down.
So I say you had to write it down.
I probably should have written it down. I'm going to describe it in an abstract sense without actually describing it in the poetic sense that I did it. So it kind of loses its impact because it's like more emotional.
So.
But basically, it was me inside digging a hole, and I would go deeper and deeper into the hole without being able to get out. And then you can see the crumbling dirt slowly fill it above me as I feel like it'd be nice to stay inside of the hole.
Okay.
And that is kind of like the feeling that I felt when I felt like having those bouts of depression and suicide, that I don't have that anymore. But like when I had that, that's how I felt. I felt like I was digging myself deeper, and I kind of wanted to be there. Because then I'd be away from everything else.
Deep man.
I guess. It's also very sad.
It's very sad.
Yeah, but I feel like that's one of the big points of like having these poetries and stories, so we can express it, so it doesn't just like sit inside and haunt us and like eat away at us.
Well, I feel opposite about that, because I don't want that piece of literature to exist. Like that depression and that sadness, I don't want that to be a poetry that I express, because I don't want someone else to feel that, because I feel like it's abhorrent, like something.
But at the same time, everybody's trying to connect to everybody. And if you feel depressed and suicidal and read it about someone who else feels depressed and suicidal in a similar way, that helps you feel less alone in that hole that you're digging, if that makes sense. Just to go further into your little metaphor.
So, yeah, actually, do you guys listen to Hollywood Undead? No, Hollywood Undead, the band, like hard metal.
No.
Well, they have one song called Bullet, which is like in the subtitle is called Suicide Song, and it's a really really weird song. It's like kind of like this like really upbeat, cheery song, but like talking about suicide.
Yeah.
But the weird thing though is that actually, according to like their fan mail, it actually saved a lot of lives because people finally realized like, hey, it's not just me.
Exactly.
You can be like rich and successful like these guys, and they still have these thoughts, and they kind of created like this like little community, which I thought was brilliant.
I had like the opposite effect. Like the reason why I created that kind of poetic description is because of music that made me feel fatalistic and like bolstered the feelings of suicide in my heart.
Really?
Yeah, and it drove me more towards suicide. Not that I did it, obviously. I'm here.
Yay!
And I really don't want to, but I
Well, were the songs you listened to actually encouraging it, or like?
No, it's more of just very dreary and dark.
So maybe you should listen to Bullets and still upbeat, and it'll stick in your head forever, which is a weird thing.
Legs
are dangling off the edge.
Bottle
full of something. Blah blah blah.
Well,
like I'm gonna slip my wrists again. I'm gone. It's so
see,
catchy.
that doesn't sound as bad because it has like a cheery tone. But if it's like something dreary, well, I don't know. I guess like my poem isn't that bad. But if just things that generally encourage like depressive thoughts, I don't know. You can listen to them if you want, but I kind of steer away from them because I feel like kind of dangerous. At least for me.
Every person's different.
Yeah.
So
we just do what we feel is right with our writing, put it out there, and hope that it helps.
Some way.
Yeah.
But,
I just write for fun though. And yeah.
Oh yeah, and definitely the best writing comes from the heart. I've read some serial stuff which is like written solely for the audience, and it's like, this is bullshit. They're just like catering to the lowest common denominator. But at the same time though, I do try to focus on the audience at least a little bit.
I feel
like
after
to make sure my work makes sense.
Like I've become like super judgmental when it comes to some fiction works now. Like was the Maze Runner. I'm sorry if you like it, but I just was like, I can read this in 10 minutes. Watch me.
Oh shit! At the same time.
Yeah, like I went to Barnes and Noble. I picked it up and like, this seems like an interesting concept. Female, she tells the secret. The end. That's the book, basically. Like, and there's like a hero, and it's like the same story.
It really is. I hate it when there's such a good concept behind it, but the author has no idea what they're doing. Like they're all like, random love scene, love triangle, blah blah blah, happy ending, and I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Sign this.
You had promise.
Yes.
No, the other thing though is I hate. It's like you see this more like movies, but you can definitely see formulaic writing.
Oh yeah.
Where like someone like was looking at that chart that he was talking about. It's like, no, this is like the intro, this is the climax, this is the ending, and they follow it to a T.
Yes.
But I did that, and I enjoyed. Like I've actually written stuff like that. And
you can always. You can use that as a base, but you know what I mean, though. Like Maze Runner sounds like a good example. Where it's like reading a book that sounds like.
You're right.
Where it's just like doing everything that they think that authors should write about. Like, the theme is so common, and today's society says nothing original. The characters are bland. I mean, that's like that kind of writing. Just like pisses me off, especially when it's successful. Like Twilight.
I've never read that, and I like people have tried to make me read it.
We should do a read aloud, just so you can feel the pain.
But I don't know.
Every time you feel bad about your writing or don't think it's good, just open up a Twilight book and read a section. You'll be like,
I couldn't get past the first chapter. I tried. I really tried to read it. But I could not like finish like 2 chapters. It was that bad.
We've done read alouds.
I mean,
read my friends.
My God,
it's beautiful. Like dramatic read alouds. Oh my gosh, it's ridiculous.
I can see that being fun in a
Oh, yeah.
in an interesting kind of way.
Yes.
Well, that was the club. That was fun.
Woo.
Yay.
Yes.
Yay.
You enjoy yourself?
Yes. You guys are fun.
Okay,
All right,
cool.
we try.
Yay.
So, actually, so we want to